Thank you very much for your interest in ColorEqualizer, ColorGATE's lean tool for accurate color communication between designer and print producer in digital textile printing. This video will show you how ColorEqualizer facilitates accurate color communication between designer and print producer using a practical example. Let's meet Anne. Anne is a freelance textile designer. She has just finished a new design and is happy how it turned out on a paper proof on her proof printer. She's now going to hand over the design to a print service provider for production. This is Michael. Michael is responsible for quality assurance at Anne's print service provider. To make sure that the print of Anne's design on fabric matches her vision as closely as possible, he suggests using ColorEqualizer. Working with ColorEqualizer gives Michael an objective reference that allows him to meet his client's wishes as accurately as possible. And Anne can be sure that the printout on the production press will match her vision without the need for expensive equipment or color management skills. To use ColorEqualizer, both Anne and Michael will need their own installation and a corresponding license. For Anne, a design license is the right choice. It contains all options that she needs to correctly communicate the colors of her design to Michael. Michael will need a production license. It contains the full scope of functions of ColorEqualizer and allows him to iteratively adjust the output on the production printer until it matches Anne's original vision as closely as possible. If you want to learn more about our licensing model or want to request a demo license to try the software yourself, you can find more information on our website www.colorgate.com. For now, let's assume that Anne and Michael have installed the software and acquired the licenses and are ready to go. Once she has the software up and running, Anne creates a new project in ColorEqualizer. Clicking Next brings her to the Color ID tab of the software. Here, she selects the image file that she wants to get produced in Michael's print shop. She will then create a Color ID, an index of the key colors of her design. Anne is not sure if she has to set up the Color ID in a certain way to allow Michael to work with it, so she asks him about his requirements. He replies that the patches should have a certain minimum size, so that his measuring device can process the target without any problems. Anne also needs to specify how many colors will be used for the Color ID. The correct number depends on the design. Anne keeps the default settings and creates a Color ID with 20 patches, clicking Apply. A similarity index is displayed, indicating how faithfully the design colors can be derived from the Color ID. In Anne's case, it shows a similarity of about 67%. Michael has told her that she should aim for a similarity index of at least 90 to 95%, so she changes the number and clicks Apply again. Now ColorEqualizer shows a similarity index of over 90%. Anne clicks on Next to continue. The next step indicates that Anne now needs to print the Color ID. The link leads her to the folder containing the Color ID as a TIFF file. She now prints the Color ID into a design file using the same settings on her proof printer. If she had a spectrophotometer available, Anne could measure her printout of the Color ID by clicking on Measure. This way, she could provide Michael with the measurement data without the need to send him any printouts. However, since she does not have access to a spectrophotometer, she just clicks on Export. This creates a CEJ file that she needs to send to Michael. This file contains the Color ID as well as the corresponding design. She also sends him the printouts of the Color ID and her design. Once he has received the file and the printouts, Michael imports Anne's project into ColorEqualizer. He then measures Anne's Color ID printout with the spectrophotometer. This provides him with the reference values he needs to later determine how close the printout from the production printer is to Anne's reference. In the next step, Michael prints another Color ID, this time on the production printer. We will call this one Iteration 0. Optionally, he can select the output profile used by the production printer, which would bring his printout closer to the reference already in Iteration 0. For this example, let's assume that he just selects Same or Unknown Profile. He then also measures this ID with the spectrophotometer. After the measurement, the Evaluate section of the dialog shows Michael information about the color deviation between the reference and his output. By clicking Save Report, he can create a detailed report that compares reference and output. A simple color code shows which colors still have the potential to be improved in an additional iteration. Green fields are already very close to the reference and can't be optimized any further. Red fields indicate that this color seems to be outside of the production printer's gamut, again meaning that no further optimization is possible. Yellow fields can be optimized by ColorEqualizer. Michael clicks Optimize to apply the improvements and create another iteration of the color ID. The new color ID, which we'll call iteration 1, contains corrections based on the measurement of the reference and the iteration 0. He prints this color ID, measures it, and takes a look at the updated report. Iteration 1 is already much closer to the reference values, but most of the fields are still colored yellow. Michael clicks Optimize again to print and measure another iteration. The result is once again significantly improved. If Michael were still not satisfied, he could repeat this process one more time. However, the output is now already very close to the original, and only a few rows still show the potential to be further improved. Michael decides that the results are close enough now, and that he can produce N's design. He clicks on Save Conversion, opens the modified file and prints it on the production printer. Thanks to ColorEqualizer, N was able to precisely communicate her expectations to Michael. Michael in turn was able to easily reproduce N's reference, without time-consuming misunderstandings. Mission accomplished. We hope this video has been useful to you and wish you a lot of success working with ColorEqualizer.